Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I've got something a little bit, well, a lot different, I guess, for y'all today. So first off, no Zelda, nothing Zelda related today. We're gonna be doing something a little bit different. So a while back, I'd been thinking of doing some like cringy like fan fiction readings because I thought that'd be fun, something different to spice things up that could be, a bit, a little bit amusing. Um, and I originally was going to do a video on a specific person's fanfiction. I might still do that. I'm not sure yet. I'm heavily debating it. I just don't know if I want to take that route or not. But anyway, that's for a different video. But so on my Wattpad the other day, because I'm normally on there now. I used to be on fanfiction.net more, but I'm more on Wattpad now, but Wattpad is neat because it's more for people who like, there's people that write actual books there, and by actual books I mean, like nothing based on anything else, just stories. It's interesting, but you can find plenty of fan fiction on there still as well. And so I have a Layton story I'm writing there right now, and I through that I was looking at the Layton tag and stuff, and I noticed one of the third results was a like I don't know what to call them, like I'll just say it's a like a Layton X reader type thing. Um so I started looking at it for the lulz, of course, and I just started reading a couple sentences in, and I'm like, I need to do a video of this. Like this has to exist. Me reading, latent X reader fan fiction. Like it just has to exist. So not gonna talk a whole lot here for the intro, even though I've already talked like 2 minutes. But just to give a brief um for if you don't know, like, because I really don't, I know no one's gonna believe me, but I really don't read, I don't read fan fiction that often anyway, let alone like X reader stuff. I don't know if that's the proper term for it, but I'm just gonna call it X reader. Basically all it is people will take a character, and it'll be, that character X the reader. So they write it in a way so it's supposed to be that you're reading it, and you're supposed to be reading it as it's you in the story. And like I could kind of see like the fun in it. And I know there's even like, I mean, you can go to like I've been seeing in Walmart recently, like you can literally like buy books like this that aren't like like, not like shipping obviously, but I mean like stories that are placing you in it, which I don't think it's that bad of an idea. It's not something I'm all that into. It doesn't really do a whole lot for me, but I know the more I say that it's not for me, the less it makes it seem like I'm being truthful in that. But anyway, so this is going to be also my first video where you're gonna see my big ugly mug. So we're gonna head on over to Wattpad right now, and you're gonna see my face pop up here in just a second. So yeah, ignore the, I don't have like a good place to record at all. This is me on my couch. This is where I spend majority of my time, and that's just like my kitchen behind me and stuff like that. That's why it looks kind of just like a jumbled mess behind me. But it's just, you can see my counter, and just ignore this. Don't look at that. It's not there. Anyway, so I'm gonna, okay. So I've got 3 here that I found. This was all that I found on Wattpad. Like, I know it's a shame. I'm sure if you go over to fanfiction.net, I mean, maybe it's not exploding with this exact thing, but I'm sure there's more. Um, so this one that I found is the is the longest. We're definitely, I didn't check to see how long these parts are, but we're definitely not going to be reading all of that today, I can assure you. Um, then this was another one I found that's very short. It's sad because it's one of these things where you can request something like for Layton and you to do, and then they'll write it. It's great because there's only like 2 comments, like 2 actual comments. It's very sad and depressing. Anyway, then we've got this other one that's super short, and it's got basically like RAR XD level of writing. Oh, and yeah, we're gonna reveal that later. It's got like several parts too and stuff. I think they're all really, really short. But anyway, we don't want to spoil that yet. We don't want to spoil it yet. To make this more fun though, I've got some tea in my Wind Waker cup here, and basically, and you at home can join in too. Anytime I cringe or show like physical just cringe or depression, you can go ahead and just take a shot of whatever you want. I've got tea here with me today, so, like safe, child-friendly tea, none of that bad stuff. But yeah, you can just take a shot of whatever you want. So from what I can tell, none of this is tagged with like, and I did a couple of them. I like just skimmed to see if I found anything exceptionally hot, and I know it's sad, but I didn't. So these are like fluff, I guess you could say. Well, that is what they are. So let's go ahead and take our first look at Professor Layton's assistant, Layton X Reader. Has over 12,000 reads. I don't know if that makes me happy or sad, but that's okay. So the description is, for those who don't know Professor Layton, it was a game series. Well, it is a game series, and had a movie about puzzle delving and mystery solving. And I honestly thought Layton could be attractive, given if they give him a little more of a realistic complexion. Are you trying to say something? Trying to say that I'm a freak? Okay, never mind. Anyway, you are Professor Layton's substituting assistant as Luke. Layton's assistant, who's pretty young, has gone home to spend time with his father. You worked with Layton a couple times and is a close friend. He has to take you on an adventure to figure out the murderer to figure out a murderer. Oh my god, to figure out the murderer to a murder in a town called Barrytonville. I almost read that as Barrytownville. While this investigation is going on, and you are doing the best you could to help him, things unrelated to the crime stirs up. Oh boy. Um. Also, yeah, if I razz on anyone for you know your spelling or anything like that, just know it's for the. I get it. I get not everyone is like. Some people want to create and they can't spell, or well, I don't know what I'm saying. Like, I don't really care. Like, I'm not trying to like. We're here more for just just know that I'm not trying to make super fun of anyone. Just, we're just having some fun here. But I'm sorry. I'm gonna laugh at to figure out the murderer to a murder. Okay, we're not even into any story yet, and already we're just getting great things in this description. So, we're gonna look at the names of these parts though. Long time no see. Quick reminder, important. Part yes. Part 3, yes. 3-2 is the reminder. New assistant. No words to describe. The watch. The inn. More train rides. Bigger town. Hated. Bradley and Emma. May I have this dance? I'm sorry. I missed you. Important. Continue. Sorry. And then, hey guys. So let's take a look at part 1, long time no see. Wait, what? Hello? Oh, okay. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm stupid. Sorry. Okay. I already don't want to say my name out loud. But I'm not going to say dearest your name, okay? So we're going to have to, if we want to make this the full experience, we have to go like all in, okay? I understand that. Dearest Justine, it is I, Your close friend, Herschel Layton. I'd hate to inform you, but there has been a murder in your town of Barrytonville that is in need of my help of solving this tragedy. My fellow apprentice Luke Trinton has asked for a visit to his father's for 3 weeks, and so is absent in helping me find the murder. We have to find the murder, guys. It's apparently the whole thing, like the victim, the crime scene. It's gone. I asked if you would like to be. Oh my god! I asked if you would like to be my apprentice for this mission. If you would like to assist me, this mission. I guess we're like, Mission Impossible now. If you would like to assist me, come to my office 2 towns over from yours and find my office. If not, please send him a notification letter of your decline. Thank you. Oh, I'm sorry. It's just really hard to read this. It's not. I wouldn't say okay. It's not the worst thing ever, but man, it's rough. I almost said you griped. You gripped the letter in excitement. Professor Layton used to help you in the Office of Mystery. In the Office of Mystery a couple years back, when you were only 16. As of now, you work in a coffee shop, but is one of the best unknown detectives Barrytonville has ever had. Oh wow. I feel so special. Last time you've seen Layton, you thought odd things about him. A special feeling. But those feelings lost as you finished investigation in his town and watched him wave goodbye to you as the train you sat on trucked away from the station. I almost said tucked away. I'm making this sound even worse than it is. Remember, oh good, we get a Layton's POV. I'm so excited. Remember how it felt to work alongside of Layton, you being to blush, internally slapping yourself. you being to pack. This just gets better. This just gets better as it goes on. You being to pack for your journey to the town after the next where Layton was. You were 19, soon to be 20, and Layton was 21. Oh, I see. Okay, so we're I see. Getting on the express train was almost nerve-wracking. You haven't left Barrytonville in 3 years. Yes, that's a short period of time, but you were only gone for a couple days, and only that one time. You close your eyes and listen to the train's wheels slowly move as a hoot of the train rang out. The hoot of the train. Okay, I think this is a good thing I have this hot tea because, I'm not used to, reading a ton, for a video without stopping. So it's gonna be a bit rough on my throat. But oh man, this is great. So okay, Layton's POV. Luke has requested to visit his dad, for it is indeed summer. It wasn't a big deal until I asked to assist in a murder case in Barrytonville. The town devoured by woods, but thoughtful at night, for it's known for its popular bars and clubs. Man, I don't know about you, but this is just the most convincing Layton dialogue I've ever read. I feel like I'm really reading something written by the Herschel Layton. This is just the pinnacle of recreating a character. It's amazing. Now I could just go by myself, or even call a friend with smarter thinking levels. But then it hit me. But then it hit me. Justine, she, being smart in detective work in her younger years would be great help and lived in Barrytonville. But she is quiet, the humble. Quiet, quiet, the charm, humble, and is very beautiful. I couldn't help but write a draft or two and write my final letter in fancy cursive. Yes, I know. I gave it a soft kiss before mailing it. Hopefully I do get a response. Oh man. We gotta read the next. Oh, we gotta weed the quick reminder. Important. Just a quick reminder, Layton isn't 21 and there's no Barrytonville in the series if you don't know the video games. Oh, thank you for clarifying. I didn't know. Also, Finna, your first name, last name, your name. I'm glad they put that in here after the first chapter. I won't be doing hair color or things like that. You'll see in the next part will be a picture of the person you're playing as. Just wanted to say. Yeah, and some of these, like, I've seen some of these where they'll go so far as to, like, it'll be, like, just crazy of the level of, like, of this kind of thing they'll put in, where it'll be, like, your hair color, your eye color, like, EC, eye color, like, crap like that, and it's just like, oh my god. Important, if you don't play, watch, interact with Professor Layton games and movie, well, I don't think interact is needed, because I'm pretty sure playing and watching would be the key ways of interacting with the Layton games and movie. But anyway, we'll look that over. We'll overlook that. I'm becoming stupider just reading this. Doesn't mean you have to not read. For those who don't, Luke is Layton's assistant, and nothing from the series related, such as past puzzles or like inside jokes or people unless needed, will be in here. Yes, is the same universe as the game, but I'm trying to make this as normal as possible. This takes place in London around 1930, so let hat sink in. Also, why would someone who hasn't played the games, or at least a couple of the games or something, want to read like a Layton extra? I don't know. Like, I guess if it's just, I don't know. It doesn't make much sense. But anyway. Oh, that's us. Oh, we're so hot. I guess. I don't know, I like that. Not really Layton-ish, but, I mean, it's cute. Anyway. Some stolen artwork, I'm sure. So, um, they're so short, we gotta read part 2, at least. Just seeing, oh man, this video's gonna be so long, but it's worth it. Okay, I brushed, because the other 2 are super short anyway, they're like mega short, and they don't have multiple parts. In case you're worried. I brushed my skirt as the train made a halt. My stop! I got up from the chair and walked out and breathed in the fresh air. Since for 2.5 hours you could smell was old leather and cheap perfume. Gross. Walking out of the bus, I don't know, maybe I'm just weird, but like, old leather and perfume doesn't just sound gross to me, I don't know. Anyway. Walking out of the bus, you could see the busy streets of London's town. Not like Barringtonville, where an intersection filled with musty cars is very, very rare. Holding my suitcase and looking at the paper with Layton's address. I walked down the streets as the clicks of my heels were oversounded with the sound of carred motors passing by. Reaching the corner building, I stepped inside and walked up a flight of stairs and looked down the hall. Down it was door with the words Herschel Layton, along with his signature black with orange top hat. Holding my suitcase close, I knocked on the door. Layton's POV. I was sorting papers when I heard a knock at my door, immediately thought about Justine, and felt my cheek turn red. Just the thought of being around such an amazing woman again was just a feeling unexplainable. Gotta drink to that. She was so beautiful. No, wait, I skipped ahead. Walking over and touching the cold doorknob. Turning it, throwing the door open. She was so beautiful, but I had to act as if nothing's wrong. Justine, how nice it is to see you again. You matured. What a nice, unweird, creepy thing to say immediately upon seeing someone in, years. Come inside. when I wasn't thinking of anything weird. When she stepped in before she could say anything. Okay, I need to. When she stepped in before she could say anything, I grabbed her hand and pulled her into a warm hug. What? Fool, that's not the right way to greet her. Oh yeah, that's just the most, like, gentlemanly thing I could ever think of. Layton opened the door and I looked to see his handsome face and his signature top hat. He greeted me as usual. I stepped inside. Nice to see. He grabbed my hand, and I was taken back when he pulled me in a hug. He pressed my body against his, and I smelt his scent of aftershave and roses. I'm glad that that's like a smell that you can detect, like not aftershave, but like roses. I mean, there's just so many people that they just, they just reek of roses 24/7. But I'm being too hard on this, Um, I've lost it. Oh, God, roses. Where's the roses? And after a second or two, he let go. Sorry, it's just that it's been a while for one of the best for one of the best junior detectives, he said, looking down and scratching the back of his neck. I giggled. Thank you. I've matured into the young lady I am today. That's an odd statement, I guess. So there's been a murder at my hometown? You think that she would know it before him, but, I get that, that's fine. That's he most Yes, that's he most information I've received and will be informed more when we arrive. I smiled. Okay, sorry, God. Okay, that's great. I will happily accept the offer to help out this case. Layton smiled. Wonderful. Okay, we're gonna come back to this maybe if we've got time. We're gonna take a look at the other ones real quick. Okay, so this is the one where you can request to have your wonderful, beautiful idea written, and I know trust me, I'm gonna totally get in on that. Let's see what some of the ideas are that some people have. So I think there was 6 comments. Okay, so and of course 2 of these aren't even the correct thing. We've got someone asking for Descalax Reader, which I mean I guess that's in the right realm, but that's not what this is called. I think it would be fun. You don't have to do it, and you can let your imagination do the work for you to do Layton and Reader, but like they challenge each other for how many puzzles solved. And I don't know, you can do anything else after that, I don't mind. So that's nice, I guess. Layton X Chelmley. That's not what we're here for. Oh gosh, okay. I'm not gonna read this whole thing. So someone just wanting Yandere and like X Layton and Don. I don't know what Yandere is. I really don't. I know I'm like a weeaboo, and why did I just say weeaboo? I know I'm like an epic weeb and everything, but I don't know what Yandere is. I really don't. Wait, I have to. Can you write a Layton Yandere artist reader? Like the reader's very famous, but spends all of their time cooped up in one art gallery where they sell paint, show art, and live in the apartment above the gallery, so they don't really all leave that much. But when they do leave the gallery, they usually meet up with Layton and have small chats. Okay, I mean that's nice and oddly specific. That's like a very oddly specific thing. Like my fetish is artists and Layton and living in apartments above cafes or whatever it was. Like okay, anyway, okay, so we got Swept Away. It's the only part. We're gonna see how wonderful this is. I keep clicking on it, thinking you have to scroll down. Okay, I'm gonna drink some more before this. You sighed. I wish I choose not to do this, you thought. Already some good grammar right off the bat. Look at you, your mother said, walking into your dressing room. I can't believe my baby's finally getting married. Me neither, you replied. You were going to marry the richest man in London. However, it was not for the sake of love. It was for your father's sake. Or at least that's what you kept telling yourself. Anderson, the man whom you were to wed, had become infatuated with you and had asked you to marry him. Your parents had always told you to only marry for love and for nothing else. And you had planned to, at least, before your father fell gravely ill. Wow, this is so sad. So when Anderson had asked for your hand in marriage, you had instantly said yes, but you had started to regret it. A couple weeks before your wedding, you had met a man that went by the name of Herschel Layton at a cafe. What is it with cafes? I don't know. Well, so never mind. You had thought nothing of him at first, but gradually you had developed feelings for him. You were devastated once it occurred to you that you'd chosen the wrong man, but you held firm and decided to get married nonetheless. This is a great one. Come on now, Justine, it's nearly time, your mother told you, practically dragging you out of the room and to the doors that marked the entrance to the aisle in which you were to walk down. You stood there and watched as bridesmaids and groomsmen walked down the aisle arm in arm, then the best man and maid of honor, and finally the ring bearer and flower girl. Yeah, I know how weddings work. You were anxious to get this over. Yet at the same time, you were sad that you were going to marry a man that you had no attraction to whatsoever. Well, you could have just said no, but you heard the music that cued you to start walking. There were many people that you didn't recognize sitting in the pews and watching you as you walked towards your soon-to-be husband. Their whispers could be heard through the entire church, most of them being compliments, but a few of them being comparisons and insults. Once you'd reached the front of the church, you linked arms with Anderson. You walked up the few steps until you reached the priest and turned towards Anderson, grasping his hands. The whole time this priest spoke, you paid no attention. All you could think about was what your life would be like after this day. You know what I'm noticing with this one? A distinct lack of Layton. Just throwing that out there. Not that I'm, feeling deprived or anything. There's just a very distinct lack. Um, I think I'm just gonna skip ahead to the six. I now pronounce you. Wait! There was a shout, and every head in the room turned, including yours. There, standing at the end of the aisle, was none other than the gentleman, the gentleman himself, Herschel Layton. You were confused but overjoyed all at the same time. I'm sorry, but I cannot let this wedding continue. This just made you more confused. You let go of Anderson's hands and walked down the few steps holding your dress up to keep yourself from tripping. Herschel, what are you doing here? He turned his gaze to yours and locked it there. Pardon the interruption, Justine, but I can't let you marry that man, he said, pointing towards Anderson. Why not? There was a sheet of silence that blanketed the room as you waited for his response. He had no reason to keep you from marrying the man who was the very opposite of your dreams. Well, that's because, he stuttered. That was odd, you thought. I never saw him as the type to stutter at anything, let alone a minor situation as this. Yeah, a minor situation. I guess for him, considering we've had no established, like relationship between, I guess, the reader and Layton, like there's nothing, but I guess this is minor, even though he's here to stop it because he loves you, I guess. Overall, this one isn't much cringe. It's just the writing isn't too bad. Like there's not many spelling errors, but like it's just kind of I don't know. There's just not a whole lot here. I never saw him as the type to stutter at anything, let alone a minor situation as this. It's because I'm in love with you, he said, practically racing through the sentence. What, you thought? He's in love with me? You were so happy to hear those words that when you did, tears of joy streamed down your face as you ran towards him and engulfed him in a hug. Engulfed. I love you too. Too, you said in a hushed tone as he wrapped his arms around you. Everyone around, even the priest, began to applaud for some reason because apparently everyone cares about this, even though it's a minor situation. You were so very happy in that moment, and nothing would ever change that. Yeah, that was boring AF. That was just like disappointment. Well, ship it like FedEx. You need to step up your game because that was weak. That just broke my throat for nothing. Well, sorry everybody, I guess that one was a dud, but that's okay. Oh dang. Okay. So we're gonna take a look at this one because this one just seems like pure gold. I trust me. I know I was wrong about the last one, but this one I promise, it's gonna be good. Okay. Um. Okay. Wait. This is the one. It has a bunch of parts, and they all have really good names. As you probably just saw, we're gonna look at the names. I just looked at one. I'm sorry. Tell him you love him, so that's pretty normal. Pet him all over, getting a little less normal. Keep on kissing him, progressively getting less normal, walk around naked until he notices, ask him to get feminine hygiene products. Is that like some kind of fetish that I'm unaware of? Like, oh yeah, my fetish that's just so oddly specific. Like, why do I care about reading about a fictional character I like going and buying me feminine products? Is there something I'm missing? Is there something that's hot about that? Like, oh, I just love I love a man that's willing to go and get me my feminine products. Sing a song to him in public. That's just embarrassing, okay? Take a nap with him, okay, more normal again. Tell his American friends about that one time he got drunk. Again, very specific. Try to get him to kiss you. Okay, so these are so beautiful. I think, honestly, I don't know. I might cut that last one out. I don't know. This video is gonna be really long, but we have to look at some of these. We just have to. We just have to. There has to be. We just have to. Okay, so I think we're gonna skip this one, just because. No, we're okay. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and look at this one since we're already here, we're already dedicated, and then we'll read another and we'll figure out from there. You looked over at your boyfriend, Professor Herschel Layton himself. He was so cute. Leaned over some puzzle, the tip of his tongue poked out of his mouth, and his brow was furrowed in concentration. Hey, Herschel. Hmm? He didn't even look up. Herschel. Hmm? Are you listening? Uh-huh. Can you hear me? Yep. I'm pregnant. Great. I trashed the kitchen. Yeah. And threw away your tea. Mm-hmm. Herschel. Oh, yay, we're annoying. What? He finally looked up, a little aggravated from being disturbed. You booped him on the nose. Did you hear anything I said, Hershey? He blushed a little at the nickname. You were saying something? You laughed. Gosh, he was precious. You leaned forward and tipped his hat enough to kiss him on the forehead. I was just saying that I loved you. His blush got deeper and he looked down at his hands. I love you, Herschel. I love you too. I love you. Oh my god. Herschel turned his head in an attempt to hide his blush in the collar of his coat. Unfortunately for him, the redness had spread all across his face to the tip of his ears. Hey, Herschel. You kissed him on the cheek. I love you. Oh my god. He covered his face with his hands, red as can be. I love you too. Yay! Are we 5? Is this like a 5-year-old? Yay, you hugged him and he patted your back. You skipped away and Herschel huffed, cheeks red. He turned back to his puzzle, but for some reason he couldn't seem to focus on it now. Precious, oh my god. Well, I have to disagree, Mr. No Name. Okay. Before we end this, we've got to read. Do we go in order? Let's read Pet 'em all over because that sounds very entertaining. These all sound entertaining, to be frank. Oh man. Oh no. This just looks awful. This isn't even fun cringe anymore. This is just like bad. This just sounds like dialogue of like a 12-year-old. Herschel sat down on his couch reading a book. You shifted closer to him. Oh no, he thought. What is she going to do this time? Well, that's great. I'm really glad that we like in this case we're like he's afraid of us. Hey, Hershey. Why must you call me that? 'Cause it's cute. Besides, it fits you. He shook his head and turned back to his book. You moved a little bit closer, reaching out to rub his arm. He didn't react, so you shifted closer and gently rubbed his shoulders. He hummed and you grinned. He was so cute. One hand rubbing up and down his back, you slowly reached for Herschel's hat. Carefully, you lifted the hat from his head and sat it on the coffee table. You ran a hand through his soft brown hair, ruffling it up. You pushed him over and he let you, offering no resistance as you proceeded to pet him like he was a puppy dog. He walked he was in your lap, almost purring as you rubbed his head and belly when Luke walked in. Hi, oh no. Hi, Professor. You giggled. I don't think he can hear you right now, Luke. I see. Luke walked over and pulled himself onto the couch beside you. Why does he seem to like that so much, Justine? In response, you knocked off the little boy's hat and started to pet him. Why are we weirdly petting Luke now? What is this? Yeah, what the 5 minutes later, Emmy walked in to find you happily petting both of them. What the heck? Yeah, that's something I would feel too. Oh no. Cause you're like a big fat doggo, a big lazy pupper. What is this writing? Oh god, that one was okay. We gotta read this. This is the oh no! I already see a senpai notice me. What is this? Who person? Why did you do this? Herschel? Herschel? What? Herschel, you poked his cheek. Herschel senpai noticed me. Noticed. No, that's not right. You leaned against the back of his chair thinking, well, Hershey, I guess I'll just strip down until you give me attention. Oh no. Oh god. Great. 5 minutes later, you were completely naked. Herschel, what? I'm naked. Uh-huh. You leaned over his shoulder. What you doing? Puzzle. Why can't you do me instead? 11. 11 what? That's wonderful, sweetheart. Oh no, no. This is awful. What is this? Luke nodded to you as he walked past and you waved. He came back with a tea and took a cup. Justine, why are you naked? Why are we okay with just walking around in front of like a 12-year-old just naked? Like, oh, this is just fine. This is okay. You shrugged. Herschel is pretty much dead to the world when he's like this, and it was getting hot in here, so still hasn't noticed you, huh? You sighed. Nope. Luke considered it for a moment. Well, how about you get all up in his space? Oh, I'm so glad Luke's helping now. This is just like, oh no. This is actually painful. Oh, okay, you walked over to where Herschel sat and leaned against him, almost sitting in his lap. Herschel, You grabbed his hand and put it over your breast. He made a disgruntled noise at having his hand removed from his task, but he worked on with one hand, completely ignoring you. Wow, Luke shook his head. He really doesn't notice anything, does he? Nope, you reached out and gently cupped Herschel's face in your hands. Herschel, sweetie, look at me at least once. He grabbed one of your hands and absently minded kissed the back of it before going back to his puzzle. Great. I just keep reading ahead and just dying inside. Great, you muttered, standing up. You put your hands on your hips. Well, I guess he's just immune to distraction. Emmy walked by and said, nice boobs, girl. Thanks. Luke shook his head again. I don't understand women. I don't understand any of this. This is not, I don't know if this person thinks this, but this is not how human beings behave. It's okay, you don't need to. Got it. Herschel, that sweet man, looked so proud of himself. It was the cutest thing. Then he turned and saw you, then he saw Luke. A blush exploded across his cheeks and he staggered up out of his chair, pulling you against him, attempting to cover you with his coat. At least someone in the room has some sanity. Luke, he wrapped around his arms around your chest. Go on, look away, go make tea or something. Luke looked confused. Why, Professor? I've seen Justine naked before. It's not like this is anything new. Herschel sputtered out a few nonsense syllables, looking down at you and then immediately looking away, his blush deeper. I'm going to pretend I didn't hear that. Justine, love, why aren't you wearing clothes? It was hot in here and you've never noticed before, so... Before? Yeah, sometimes when you're doing your thing, you get so wrapped up in it that I can just walk around naked and you never notice. Please refrain from doing that in the future. No promises, Cupcake. He made a distressed puppy noise and you pulled away from him, resulting in his covering his face with his hands. Well, Luke, I guess I'd better get clothes on. Guess so, m'lady. My God, this has to be comedy. Isn't Luke a child of God? Well, he's a child, I can say that. I don't get what the 11 means, and when my sister drew the 11 in my head, was thinking of okay. I think that's enough of this for today. We've reached like officially the longest video I've done. Well, this has been beautiful. If there's a demand or a need for part 2, or if I just feel like it, because I almost wish I would have cut out or just not done that other one, because that one was just it took forever to read and it was just boring. But no, we're gonna come back to this. We're gonna come back because we have to read Try to Get Him to Kiss You, and about the feminine, that just sounds amazing. And then of course we have this one. This one is also amazing. The amazing writing, amazing spelling, amazing everything. But yeah, at least we know now that other one was a dud. I did the service of reading that for you, so you don't have to read it yourself because it was just boring. So yeah, I think I'm gonna go ahead and switch back over to my talking screen. Anyway, so yeah, that was a thing. This was a thing that happened. So yeah, I'm gonna go bleach my eyes, and I'll catch you guys next time. Bye!